back to my YouTube channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Aaliyah and I'm a yoga instructor based in New York City. I use this channel to share free information about yoga with you. In today's video, I'm going to break down how you can do downward facing dog in 4 different ways and how those 4 different ways affect different muscle areas in your body. Let's get started in a neutral downward facing dog. So this downward facing dog is a general V shape with your body. Make sure that your feet are hip width distance apart and your hands are shoulder width distance apart. Don't put too much thought into the structure yet and follow along with my guide. So create an L shape with your fingers, with your thumb and your index finger, and ground through your hands so that you can hold up your upper body without having to force too much strain onto the shoulders. Oftentimes in this pose, we forget that our abdomen is also engaged here. So that means that you're making a conscious effort to use your abdominal muscles to squeeze in towards your spine to hold up your upper body. This downward facing dog is what a standard downward facing dog looks like. So heels are glued to the mat. Maybe your toes can even lift off the mat a bit. Legs are straight. Try not to lock out your knees, but instead use your calves and your hamstrings to really hold you in a straight line. And think tailbone facing up towards the ceiling. Again, to release any tension in the shoulders, try pushing away from the mat, creating space through your middle back and upper back as your head hangs in between your biceps. Oftentimes I see in classes, people look to the front of the mat. There's nothing there to look at. So just kind of hang out in this shape and feel what's going on, especially throughout your whole back. The second way you can do downward facing dog is what I like to call a swoopy back. So this accentuates the curve of your lumbar spine. Toe heel your feet a couple inches inward and make sure that your hands come in a little closer too. Lift your tailbone towards the ceiling even higher and use the heel of your palms to push your glutes back towards the ceiling. This sensation is really good if you have a lot of lower back pain. It gives a nice stretch to both your middle and lower back muscles. And remember to keep your knees bent. The third way to do downward facing dog is having your knees bent so deeply that your belly can rest on your thighs. I always encourage heels lifted off the floor for beginners because it makes downward facing dog more approachable and it's a little bit more easy on the body. Remember to still create that L shape between your thumb and your index finger on both hands so that you have a sturdy foundation to hold your torso up. And the fourth and final way to do downward facing dog is 3-legged dog. I like this one because it's like a flirty downward facing dog. 3-legged dog, you lift one leg up towards the ceiling while keeping your hips squared towards the mat. So the second you feel your lifted legs hip facing and rolling out towards the ceiling, lower your leg a little bit so that your hips square off towards your mat. Remember to keep your leg engaged here. So a passive foot, you might be pointing your toe or it's just not active. Here, flex your toes towards your shin, almost like you're kicking the back wall. Whichever foot you have on the ground, try and straighten it as much as you can so that you can continue to feel your calf and your hamstring muscles engaged here to hold you up. And again, to reiterate the point of making sure that you're grounding through the heels of your hand, of your palm, and still maintaining that L shape between your thumbs and your index fingers for that sturdy foundation. If you do choose to do three-legged dog, again, remember that your abdominal muscles are engaged here, almost snapping in towards the spine so that your movement is more controlled as you lift your leg and you let your leg come back down. And my favorite way to get out of downward facing dog is always in a forward fold. Just look up between your hands, walk your feet in between your hands, and take whatever variation suits your needs. So maybe that's wrapping your hands around your back, or grabbing for opposite elbows, or interlacing your hands behind your head. Thank you so much for flowing with me today. If you found this video useful, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. Namaste.